Hotep, peace and blessings. This is how to make lock jewelry part 3, and I want to show you how to make the beaded cuff. Now in the previous video when I did the cowrie shell adornment, I was showing you how you would take the same wire, and this is a very small cowrie shell, by the way. This piece is going to be for my daughter. You just drop seed beads on the wire itself. Now you can get a thing of seed beads, a tube of seed beads like this from Joann's or AC Moore Michaels, and they're about $4 a tube. They have all kinds of colors, and even if you don't want to buy the tube, you can buy separate colors at 99 cents a piece in small packs, so they're very easy to find. You can even find seed beads in Walmart. So what I did was I didn't complete the whole thing because I didn't want it to be really long, and I did this with the 20 gauge wire. Now I will say, when making the cowrie, the beaded cuffs, you might want to use 22 gauge wire, because sometimes these beads are actually called check glass beads, and as you're twisting it around, the smaller the coil, you can actually, some of the beads will pop and break. So you want a more of a pliable wire. Now with the 20 gauge wire is good if you're making a larger cuff. I'm going to use this nice size crochet needle. It's pretty nice size, so they really shouldn't pop. Matter of fact, I'll use this one. And like I showed you before, for security and for stability, I'm going to take the cowrie shell and I'm going to put the cowrie shell on the flat part of the crochet needle, and I'm going to turn it around and just keep turning it. Keep turning it, keep turning it. Now when I get to this part, that little piece right here that's left over, I'm going to take my needle nose and I'm going to create a coil. Now some people may not want a huge copper coil at the end, so you can bead it all the way up to the very end, just enough to make a little loop so the beads stay on and so that the lock jewelry doesn't get caught in your hair. One thing I make sure when I make my lock jewelry, I don't want anything that's going to thin out the locks, wear down on the locks, cause breakage of the hair. So there you go. And while it's on there, if you need to tighten it up a little bit by just kind of turning it, you can. And then you take it off, and then you have a beaded lock cuff. Now I'm going to pick a lock, and like I told you before, I had made a little, took a piece of wire and I made more like a thread. So if I needed this to thread my lock in, I'm going to squeeze this so that it fits through. Stick it through like that. Open it up a little bit. I'm going to take my lock. I'm going to slip it through like that, and I'm going to pull my lock through the cuff. And there you go. I have a beaded cuff with the cowrie shell at the end. Now you don't have to do the cowrie shell. You can just make the little coil at the end and then add your different color beads. And like I said, this is a small cowrie shell. And just take it off. And that's what that one looks like. And I'm also going to show you how to create a wire cuff and incorporate beads. Now when you're doing this, you're going to do extra wrapping with your wire, so you want an extra long piece. So I'm going to go ahead and twist my end like this, just a little bit. Now I'm going to take my crochet needle, hold it in place on the flat part right here, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 wraps around the crochet needle. Now I'm going to take my bead. This is a plastic burgundy colored bead. I'm going to slip it on like that. Now some people, when they make their lock jewelry, they'll just slip the bead on and then they'll just twist it around, whatever they're using to twist. But see, I like to have the copper look around the bead. So I'm going to hold it like this. I'm going to wrap the wire around the crochet needle, right? And then I'm going to take the wire back up around the bead. Now I do a lot more intricate weaving with my wire than this. This is just a basic. I want you to see what that looks like. So you have like a frame of the copper around the bead, and I'm holding on to it, and I'm just going to keep twisting it, and I'm going to put another bead. I didn't make the wire long enough, so I'm just going to do 2 beads. Actually, no, I don't even have enough for that. I'll just do another copper colored bead because it's smaller. Take that around, right? Bring it up and around. Now normally the wire would be a whole lot longer, so what I'm going to do is, and I like to have the cuff at the bottom for support, I'm just going to do a little like that, and there you have it. I'll slip it on the green crochet needle so you can see it a little better. Actually, this crochet needle is a little bigger, so I'll slip it on one of my locks so you can see it. And this is a nice size cuff, so my lock will I'll just pull it through with my fingers like that. Just pull it all the way down, all the way through, and it looks like that. Now you can make it as long as you want. You can add as many beads to it as you want. Mind you, when making your lock jewelry, you don't want heavy beads in your hair, because eventually those very heavy beads will wear down on the locks, and you don't want anything that's going to thin your locks out. And just slip it right off. Like I said, you can go get beads from anywhere. I like to incorporate genuine gemstones. My pieces, I charge what I charge for my lock pieces because of the gemstones that I use. And a lot of the technique that I do use, I didn't show you because it's a lot of weaving and things like that, but this is just basic. It took me a few seconds to make this. Alright. And one more. I wanted to show you how to incorporate charms. This is a big but I'm just going to show you how you can incorporate charms in your lock jewelry without jump rings. And jump rings are just little tiny, they look like little tiny loops that connect your jewelry. Like if you've ever looked at your earrings, no, it's not a good example. I'll have to show you jump rings and things like that in the next video, but this is just a really quick video just to show you. You can hear my children in the background. Alright. Give me a quick piece of wire. Cut the wire. And it's the same principle as the cowrie shell. You're going to stick it through here, right? And you're going to leave just enough to where it folds over. And see, with this way, you don't have to worry about this ever falling off. I don't like to use jump rings and things like that in lock jewelry because the jump rings can open and then you have your jewelry's lost. You know, your piece is gone. So I'm holding. With this is going to be a little different. Before I held the cowrie shell and I twisted it. With this, I'm going to hold, see how I bent this wire? I'm going to hold this piece like this that I bent in place with the needle nose. And I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to wrap the wire around. And I only did it twice. I don't know if you can see because of the lighting. Now this extra piece, I just cut it off, and I just pressed it close with my needle nose. And I'm not going to keep this on here, I just wanted to show you how to do that. And then after you have your pendant, if you want to incorporate beads on top of that, here's a green bead. Now I'm going to show you another thing. You can either take this wire, hold it onto the crochet needle and create a piece like this, and this piece will be sure to stay